Hey, Comp 2 compatriots. I'm just checking in with you post spring break. I hope that you had a nice week and thank you for watching the video today. Quick update about the papers. I messaged everybody on Discord, but in case you didn't see that, all of the Shakespeare essays have been graded. So your feedback is waiting for you if you have not checked it already on your RaterNet email. And in addition to your essay feedback, there's going to be your current participation grade in the class and your current overall grade in the class. So basically just a midterm grade update showing you kind of where you are right now in the class. If you have questions about any of that, don't hesitate to let me know. The papers were kind of feast or famine in that they were either actually pretty solid or pretty good, or they were needing a lot of work, and there wasn't a whole lot of middle ground. But I wanted to compliment you on something, because in Comp 1, and it's always this way in Comp 1 with every Comp 1 class that I have, on a lot of the papers I have to go in and talk again about paraphrasing and how even if you cite it, you can't just go in and copy and paste huge chunks of information from your sources about how you have to put that information in your own words. I did not have to say that on one paper this time. So as a class, you really did a great job of paraphrasing and taking the outside info and putting it in your own words. Or if you chose not to do that, at least doing small amounts of direct quotes. So way to go on that. I was really impressed. That's probably the first time that's ever happened with the Comp 2 class that I didn't have to go in and do my big spiel about, here's how you paraphrase. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I see you, I see your hard work, and I'm grateful for it. So moving on to what is coming up this week. This class has had kind of a choose your own adventure aspect thus far. You got to pick your Shakespeare play, you got to decide which movie you wanted, you got to pick your short story. So at this point, we are all doing the same thing. Everybody is reading the same book, and that book is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. And I've been sending out sort of updates and warnings that it was time to get it, so here it is in all its glory. And you just tossed it over the desk. Why not? Why not throw it on the ground? Okay, good job. I'm a klutz. Anyway, you're going to be reading this book, and your first assignment is to read pages 1 through 90 for next Tuesday. But in addition to doing the reading, you're going to be taking notes in a particular way, and you're going to be getting graded on those notes. And there's a couple of reasons for that. But if you look at this post, scroll to the bottom of this post, and I have attached a document that will kind of take you through point for point how to take double entry notes. And it's a 2-page document. One of them is just kind of an example of a notebook page, and the other has like other bullet points and information. So make sure you look at both pages. So I'm not going to repeat all that here because you need to go look at that document. But all that you'll need is a regular notebook paper or a notebook and a pen of your choice. Please do use ink, because when you scan these and send them to me, it is much easier for me to read when it's ink. I pretty much can't read it when people send it in pencil. So please use a pen of some type. So they do have to be handwritten. These cannot be typed. They need to be handwritten. And there's a reason for that. They've done multiple studies that talk about how when you take notes by hand, you actually remember the information better than if you typed it. I don't understand why, but you are welcome to do your own research into that if you don't believe me, but the studies are there. And part of why I make you do these notes is because it helps with reading comprehension. A lot of people at first hate it, and then every time by the end of the semester, I have people give me feedback and say, keep the double entry notes. The double entry notes are really helpful. I'm really glad you made us do this. And it just, like clockwork, it happens every time. So have you ever been reading something and your eyes are following the paragraph, but you realize that you've been thinking about Stranger Things or something else that you're interested in, the whole time instead of actually doing the reading. Like your brain is on some other planet and like you're just not actually doing the reading at all. So doing the double entry notes and making yourself stop every once in a while to take note of the things that provoke a reaction in you, it helps you actually pay attention when you are doing the reading, and it helps you remember what you read and connect to it. On a mercenary level, the other reason that it's helpful is it helps your grade. It is a very easy 2 points that you get every time for doing these notes. And that can be kind of a buffer that helps like offset maybe not great quiz grades or not great paper grades or so forth. So they're graded on effort and if you put in the effort. And so that should be a relatively easy 2 points every time, and that can help your average. So you're going to be taking those notes, and when you take them, you're just going to take a picture, or I mean, you can scan it if you prefer, but if for most people it's just easier to take a picture. And then you're just going to send me the photographic evidence of you having taken the notes through whatever medium is most convenient to you. So you can use RaiderNet email, you can use Snapchat, you can use Edmodo, or you can use Discord. Any of those. Any way that you want to send them to me, whatever's convenient for you. As long as you send me those notes by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. So just like everything else in this class, I don't take late work. So if it's late, it doesn't count. But as long as you send it to me by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m., you can use whatever mode works best for you. So you're going to read, you're going to take the notes, and then on Tuesday there will be quizzes. And it'll be just very similar to the quizzes that you've had thus far. It'll be 3-question quizzes. All you have to do is get 2 out of 3 to get full credit. If you get 3 questions correct, then you get a check plus. And you can actually rack up a decent amount of extra credit if you continue to blow the quizzes out of the water by getting those check pluses every time. And then lastly is the discussion prompts. And I've already actually done the first post on the Discord about that. So every week, again, just to kind of attempt to approximate what it would be like if we were in class discussing it together, every week there will be at least a couple of prompts. Usually I will have you choose between the 2 and respond to one. And you need to go in there and do that, again, by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. So that is how you continue to get your participation grade. A lot of you, and this is okay, I mean, we're all busy, we all got stuff going on, you got to make your own priorities. But when I sent out the midterm grade emails, a lot of people do not have great participation grades right now because you haven't been doing those. Well, the good news is there will be one every week for Station 11. So you can gain points back on that participation score by continuing to kind of stay on top of that now and participate in those debates or discussions. So again, the first one's already there. So it's 4-fold. Do the reading, do the notes, do the discussion, and do the quiz. And as long as we're working on Station 11, those are your 4 jobs every week. So if you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out to me if anything about that was confusing. I also wanted to say that if you are doing an honors project, and there are 3 of you, unless I have horrifically miscounted or forgotten someone, if you're doing an honors project, remember that paper is due on March 23rd, which is this coming Tuesday. And it needs to be, remember, a 5-page paper with at least 5 sources, and it's about the book that you believe should be taught in schools or that everybody should read. So last I remember, you had all picked your books, but there was a little bit of flexibility last time in regard to the due date. I can't do that again this time. I can't push that back any farther. So that March 23rd is an ironclad due date, and if you cannot meet that, then we need to just accept that we're not doing the honors project and move on with our lives, and that's okay, because it's a lot of work. So touch base with me if you feel like you're not going to be able to meet that deadline. Otherwise, I'll just expect to receive that paper, and also let me know if you have any questions. And so for the rest of you, like I said, we're just working on Station 11. Now, I wanted to give you kind of a disclaimer. Obviously, if you've read the back of the book, this novel is about a pandemic plague that takes over the world. It's called the Georgia flu, and it is far more severe than Corona. It ends up wiping out 98% of the world's population in a very, very fast amount of time. And there's kind of 2 timelines in the book. There's the pandemic as it's happening, and then there's the 20 years later timeline of the people who are trying to live and reconstruct the world, without the advent of electricity or modern medicine or anything like that. And sort of the question of what do they find valuable in this life. I just want you to know I picked Station 11 for my novel before Corona happened. And teaching it, I ended up teaching it last year as the pandemic was occurring. And that was probably one of the most surreal teaching experiences of my life. And it was surreal for the students as well. But it's not me trying to be like, gotcha, like we're going to do a plague book. Haha, isn't that cool? That's not my intention at all. Like I said, I picked it over a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it teaches very well. But I will say that you having lived through what you have lived through will probably add another layer of relevance to the book as you read it. Even though the Georgia flu is much more serious, not serious, it's not that Corona is not serious, it's much more deadly than COVID. You're going to be reading this book and thinking like, oh, I remember when that happened, and well, that feels very real to me right now, and you might be connecting to it more because of what you've lived through. But I want you to know I did not pick it flippantly. I didn't pick it to rub this last year in anybody's face. I've been doing this for a while, and I think it's a really good book, and that's why I continue to teach it. So if you have questions about that at all, again, as always, let me know. But I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of it. It always provokes really interesting discussion. And in the meantime, because you are the children of the pandemic, doing your lesson plans in ways that you never anticipated, I appreciate you hanging in there and sticking it out. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your week. If you made it this far in the video, then you get a gold star. And I wish you always the very best and have a great rest of your day. Bye.